Coach, just looking at 35 assists tonight, what did you just like from the overall ball movement and how you guys were moving it out there?
Definitely a great night for that. Felt it early. Book's ability to create a closeout just by his presence on the floor. He was able to get in the paint. We lived in closeouts, so that's what we want to do. However we can, create an advantage, put them in closeouts. That leads to 35 assists.
And then Dylan really got it going there in the third quarter, but you guys outscored them 45-29. Kind of what led to that surge?
Our intent out of the locker room, those guys had an intent, try to get them to call the first time out. I think it was 10-2 at the first time out. They were able to get to the bonus pretty early. So, yeah, just the starting group. I thought Mark was fantastic. Really put an imprint into the game in that third quarter specifically. We need him. We need him, and we got him tonight, and I thought he was fantastic.
Shane? Coach, it was obviously efficient with the percentage, but I thought this was a no-nonsense win. Like you guys just went out and just handled business. How much are you, appreciating that, just going out and taking care of business tonight?
These are tricky games, right before the holidays, people in town, a lot of stuff going on, where it's easy to lose your focus. That's not what this group does. Every night they bring the juice, bring the energy. Probably helps that we play a really good team with really good players. So, but yeah, I would say that's a pretty good word to use. And hopefully we're like that every night. It's not just December 23rd. It's every night. So I think that's where our group has been all season. Just keep building.
Quick follow. I meant to ask you pregame, so my apologies. Jalen just came out with him 2-3 more weeks for evaluate. How are you viewing that with him? Is it a blessing that it's just 2 to 3 weeks, or how are you analyzing that?
Yeah, it's just been steady progress. So no change, just steady progress. Getting more and more on the court. Once that strength is at 100%, it'll be full go on the court. Now he's been out for a while, so that's obviously why there's a little timetable there. But been good progress. His spirit's been great. It's fantastic on the bench. Again, the absence is hard for a hooper. He really just wants to go out there and play, but he's been fantastic to be around. Yeah, he just has to stack days right now. He's right at the end. He's got to stay with it, stack these days, and we'll get him back out there.
Coach, Jamari with another great night for you guys. Since you got him, he's shooting 70% on twos. Just what has he given you guys, the ability to get downhill and score?
Yeah, that's it. The ability to break the three-point line, break the paint, has real speed. I think he's longer than what you think. His wingspan, ability to impact shots on the defensive end. He every night, every night he's been great. He's been under control. I always talk about his personality. He's just even keel. He goes out there and plays like a vet. Been fantastic. Super helpful with that second group. The second group really moves it. He's a big part of that. He's able to guard his position. We switch a lot. We put him out there with everyone. Tonight's, we were switching. He'd take the matchup, guard it best you can, get a great impact. We go to the other end. So both sides of the ball. It's not just offensively, like defensively. He's in the right spot a lot. He's able to contest the shots and even has some rebounds tonight. So, yeah, both ends.
Jordan, kind of going off what Shane asked, when Bouye signed, no one thought much of it, from the media standpoint. Were you involved in that? What did you see in him, and did it surprise you that he's, because he was kind of a journeyman, but he's come in, like you said, and played like he's done it for 10 years?
We needed the ball handling. We needed the playmaking, and it does help. He's a couple years removed, in my opinion, from college. He's been through it, so there's no moment that is too big. But the stretch of teams that we've played and we've thrown him out there, that's not easy. That part's not easy. So from that standpoint, that's hard for anyone. And now it's no surprise. Like now he's out there playing. Big piece of what we're doing, especially again with that second unit when Book is off the floor. His ability to break the paint, his speed is real. That's NBA speed. He has NBA athleticism. We're going to keep him aggressive. We're drawing up plays to get him into the paint, and he's been really good. And I think there's room to grow. That's the best part with these young players is throw them out there, throw them in a fire and competitive environment, see where they go, and he keeps growing. Like there's room to grow. That's the exciting part for us.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, kind of piggybacking on that, it seems like Bouye in this second line is they're full of hustle, full of talent. Even guys like Jordan Goodwin is out there just hustling every night. What can you say about the depth on this team and how the NBA is kind of focusing on having talented depth like that?
Playing hard is a skill, and it's something that is often lost because it's really hard to analytically put a value on it. And that group not only plays hard, but they play well together. Oso's ability to connect that group, Collins' improved skill level, and then their overall confidence that they can go out there in any environment and play. So they got a good thing going, and it's great. You have some of your best players off the floor, and those guys are able to maintain or increase the lead. Like they're massive. Not only, especially in the second half, and we've had that a little bit. Like in the fourth quarter, when you can throw them out there and feel good that we're in a good place to rest our starters for that last push. But tonight, yeah, I thought they were really good, especially in that first half. Individually, they're really good, but collectively, they do seem to be finding somewhat of a groove.
You mentioned the opposition lately, a lot of really close, tight games over this month as well. It's been a really hectic one, but how have you liked the group's ability to remain stable and be able to get a result like tonight through how much this month has tested you guys?
Yeah, every night's a test. I mean, I think it's been the last at least 14, maybe 16 games, and now we've come out 500, I believe, in that stretch. So it's going to make us better, and all these close games against really good teams with really good players in really tough environments. But that doesn't change when we don't play those same teams. We need that same fight, that same spirit. But it does. There is some shared experience even in a young group that's only played 29 games together. So hopefully that will help us later. But every night in the NBA, again, you don't know who the opposition, who they're playing, who we have on the court. Every day is day to day. And we have to collectively get better. Us as coaches, us as staff, too. Like, we have to speed this up as fast as possible because these opponents aren't going anywhere. We know the West is extremely competitive, and we just got to continue to get better.
Jordan, Dylan kind of had an odd stat line, the 25 points and then 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 turnovers, which is unusual for a guy that active. Do you make anything of a stat line like that?
I like the points and I don't like the rebounds. I don't know. I mean, we love Dylan. I don't know what else to say. The last time it was what he is in the game. He just scored 25 points against a really good team. Yeah, we love it. We love everything he does. We didn't need anything else other than that tonight. Next night he might have double-figure rebounds. So whatever it takes to win.
Coach, even with the 35 assists tonight, it just felt like the communication was just on point from the beginning of the game to the end. From the start of training camp to now, just how would you sort of assess the growth of the communication level throughout your team?
It's hard to judge, when you're there to really hear. I did think at one point we talked about communication. That starts with your quarterback, with your fives on the floor. A little easier with Oso because Oso's in a common coverage that we just switch a lot of stuff. Mark's the one where it's tricky. There's multiple calls involved. They try to manipulate the screener at times by adding the stack Spain pick and roll, so he has to be really on point. And now he's guarding different guys. One time it's LeBron, one time it's Austin Reeves, one time it's Nick Smith, who's super fast. So communication's always going to be top of the list of your defense. How well can you communicate? We're going to be changing coverages, and a lot of that falls on our bigs. And I thought Mark, again, overall had a really, really good night.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. We'll have Mark Williams in here, locker room's open to tier 1. Have a good Christmas, Coach.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas.